So we have the gerund. We've been doing it in the last lesson. This is where we talk about the action. So when we use the gerund, from the last lessons, we've been talking about this gerund, which means like the ing to your action, to your verb. So we know that we need to put the gerund in the middle of a sentence. It's like saying, I love swimming. So we can see the action swimming has the ing. Now we looked at, in the last lesson, using the gerund after certain verbs. So not all verbs, because the first verb will be a different verb, and then the second one, your second action will be the gerund. So we looked at which verbs can use them. And then we also looked at
page number 135.
Yes, where we're starting. Yeah, the gerund. Now we're doing the gerund after prepositions. So remember, prepositions are these little words like on, in, by, at. So let's look at using the ing of an action, but now after a preposition. Okay, so we are here. The gerund after prepositions. So she's good at swimming. I'm thinking of applying for a new job. We found the house by using this map. So you could see the words swimming, applying, and using are the gerund. It just means the form that the verb is in. But if you have a look here, at, of, and by, these words are called prepositions. So you can see now we've already got the first verb. You can see here, she is, I'm thinking, we found. That's your first action. But then when you want to add another action, especially if it's at swimming, of applying, by using. So we're going to talk about how do we make this structure of a sentence. So when we want to use a verb, we know that that's the gerund, after a preposition. Remember all these at, of, by. We use the gerund. So it acts like a noun. So she's good at tennis. You could say she's good at playing tennis. They're both the same sentence, but one just has the gerund. So let's practice so we can then see how this works. I'll do the first two. I'm worried about taking my exams. I can see the word about, that's a preposition. So I'm worried about taking my exams. I've often dreamt of traveling around the world. So of is a preposition. So you could see the structure. You've got preposition and then immediately after the gerund, the ing to your action. Okay, we'll start with Javiera, number 3. We talked about yeah, exactly. We get married. So we talked about getting married one day. Number 4. I bought some new clothes before. So remember we looked at this word.
Passing.
Yeah.
Before the interview.
Before passing the interview.
Before doing.
I bought some new clothes before maybe going to the interview is a better action. Yeah, so you did this action, especially look at the word before. Remember we said when you have two actions, and we did that in a few lessons before. When you're talking about one action that you did it before another action, or another action that you did after another action. Remember those lessons before? So this one we could see that's what we did. We bought some clothes before going to the interview. Javiera, 5.
Becoming,
No.
practicing,
Teaching.
teaching.
So they believe, that's our preposition, in teaching children to look after themselves. So we don't know who they is, maybe a school or something. So this school believes in teaching children. That's the action that we want to do to this noun. We want to teach children what? To look after themselves. Okay, good. So that's teaching. Deeper, number 6.
I'm tired of doing the same job.
Yes, very common expression. People say, I'm tired of doing this job. I'm tired of doing the same job all the time. Good. We could cross off doing. Javier.
She's very happy about passing all her exams.
Yeah, she's very happy about passing all her exams. Deepa.
Were you interested in becoming a pilot when you were younger?
Yeah, were you interested in becoming a pilot when you were younger? So this is an interesting verb. To become something means that you do something. So maybe you want to become a doctor, you want to become a lawyer. So we use this a lot when we talk about jobs. We become, especially when you ask children, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or you could say, what do you want to become when you grow up? So you can also become not just a job title, but you could become a good person. You could become a friendly person. So it's also a personality, a character, what type of person you want to be. It's kind of like, imagine, it's like what do you want to be? So were you interested in being a pilot, in becoming a pilot when you were younger? So good, become, yes.
We're not saving this.
Yes, a lot of people say this. We're not very good at saving money. So you can see the first verb, we are, not very good. And then you can see the preposition at and the ing, saving money.
She by practicing every day.
Yes, by practicing every day. So that you could see the first action.
Why?
The first action is she learnt to play the piano well. And then we've got this by. How do we do something? The by tells you how. So what did she do to learn the piano well? By practicing every day. Okay, so let's go now to the gerund again. We know the gerund. It's just means you have the ing to the action. So here are some verbs: work, do, lose, run, buy, listen, learn, go. I'll read the first two. We can see that we've got some sentences, maybe there's 2 gerunds. So if we do have 2 gerunds, then you'll just have to add and, which allows you to add another action. So the first sentence says, I enjoy swimming and sailing when I'm by the sea. So these two actions are connected because they're activities that you could do when you're at the sea. So that's why this person wants to add another action about the same topic. He's talking about what he enjoys when he goes to the beach. So I enjoy swimming and sailing when I'm by the sea. And I'll do the second one. I think Jim's interested in becoming a lawyer. So he thinks, and becoming a lawyer, Tim hasn't yet studied it, but he's just saying, I think he is interested in being a lawyer, in becoming a lawyer. So another very common verb we use is being. You can also say be. I think Tim's interested in being a lawyer. So a very common other verb that we use. Okay, number 3, we'll start with Javier.
Working with children is very interesting, but it's also very tiring.
Yes, just a bit of pronunciation. Working with children, it's a children, is very interesting, but it's also very tiring. So we like to push this word, but we do it like that. We push, stretch out the word. And yes, if you remember the last lessons, we looked at, we can actually start our sentence with the ing, with the gerund. Because we're using it as our topic, as our noun, like the start of our sentence. So working with children, this action is very interesting, but it's very tiring. Okay, number 4, we're
Yeah.
thinking.
We are thinking of going to Switzerland for our holidays.
Yeah, exactly. We're thinking of going. We use the verb go when we go places. So, yep, we're thinking of going to Switzerland for our holidays. Remember, countries, cities, we always capitalize the letter. So, yeah, we're thinking of going to Switzerland for our holidays. So that means it's not 100% the plan. We're just thinking. We're not sure yet, but it's an idea where, maybe we're thinking of doing this action for our holidays. Number 5.
I started running to work every morning to keep fit.
Yes, a little bit of pronunciation. So we push the V.
I have
It comes from I have, but because it's
Yeah,
written this way, we say I've. So the subject I and the verb have. But when we put them together, we need to say I've, but push the V stronger. I've started running to work every morning to keep fit. Okay, so we could see 2 actions because you remember there's certain verbs that we use before the gerund. So I've started running to work. So 2, remember our prepositions? We're looking also at our prepositions. 2 tells us where, to work every morning. And then it gives us another verb here, to keep fit. Okay,
he doesn't
Good.
say anything about the problem because he is afraid of losing his job.
yes, good. So he doesn't say anything about the problems because he's afraid of losing his job. Yeah. So I don't know, there's some problems at work, and this person, we don't know who he is. He, remember the negative, he does not, he doesn't, for he, she, it. He doesn't say anything about the problems, and we're saying why. Why? We've got the sentence here. Because his, that comes from he is afraid of losing, you can see the ing, his job. Okay, good. Number 7. So again, we know the start of the sentence, we can use the gerund.
Learning a new language
Yeah.
is a very different thing to do.
Yes, learning a new language is a very interesting, interesting thing to do. Okay, good. So we could see, remember we talked about when we start the sentence with the gerund, maybe it's because I'm trying to tell you about my experience or give you some advice. So you can see learning a new language, this action is a very interesting thing to do. Number 8.
Danny has always hated doing his homework.
Yes. Did we have doing? Yes, he hated doing his homework. So Danny has always hated doing his homework. We use this verb a lot. We do our homework. So that's the action that we say. We do our homework. So he doesn't like it. He's always, and you can see the adverb here. He's always hated doing his homework. Number 9.
I'm tired of buying to him all the time. He never listens to me.
No, maybe.
Listening.
I'm tired of
Ah,
listening. Yes, good. Yeah, listening was the right one. And remember, the T is silent. So I'm tired of listening to him. We can see our preposition before the verb. To him all the time. He never listens to me. So we've got another adverb here. And this is you should be able to see the present simple. The whole sentence. That this is how someone feels now in this moment. I'm tired of listening to him. And the last one, 10.
I remember buying sweets here as a child.
Yeah, I remember buying sweets here as a child. Okay, before we do the next part, I'll just